This is Chris Videos. Like, subscribe to TNW Wrestling on YouTube, subscribe to my other channel, Word of Chris, and subscribe to this channel, Chris Videos. And follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and both of my TikToks. I'll be down there in the description box, and I'm here to do my WWE Friday Night SmackDown, June 2nd, 2023 reviews. So here we go, discussing about tonight's episode of Friday Night SmackDown. Now we start off the show with a freaking nice video package of Roman Reigns as undisputed WWE Universal Champion for over 1,000 days. So yeah, they was having that little celebration with the video package and stuff, showing him when he won the titles, the Universal title, and then defending it at WrestleMania 37 up against Edge and Daniel Bryan, winning that, going to Money in the Bank in 2021 against Edge, and then going against John Cena at SummerSlam, and all the way through. So yeah, it was just a nice video package with Paul Heyman as the narrator on it. So yeah, pretty cool stuff right there. It was just really good. Now that one was a pretty good video package right there. But yeah, after that, we see the United States Champion, Austin Theory. He's inside the ring, and he starts talking about Roman Reigns' reign as over 1,000 days and stuff. And he says that his title reign is pretty long. And with his and Roman Reigns' title reign combined, it will be 1,209 days. So yeah, that's what Austin Theory was talking about. And he says that he can hold his title for over 1,000 days, 2,000 days, 3,000 days, 4,000 days, stuff like that. And they keep on giving him opponents like Sheamus. So yeah, that's what Austin Theory was saying. But yep, that's what he said there. And then he introduces his tag team partners, Kit Wilson and Elton Prince, pretty deadly. So yeah, they come out. But yeah, we get to the 6-man tag team match. The first match of the night, it was Sheamus, Ridge Holland, and Butch, the Brawling Brutes, versus Elton Prince and Kit Wilson, pretty deadly, and the United States Champion Austin Theory in a 6-man tag team match. In this match, it was a pretty good match. We see a lot of people just doing double team moves and all that stuff in this match. Like we seen Sheamus, Ridge Holland, Butch hit the white noise on all of them, which was pretty nice, and then they all hit the 10 beats to the battering ram and all that stuff. Pretty cool stuff. Austin Theory almost won this match. We hit that. We picked up Sheamus on shoulders for like the torture rack position and hit a tilt-a-whirl power bomb onto him. He almost got the 3 count, but he kicked out at 2. At one point, we see Austin Theory try to roll back into the ring with that drop kick that he always does. But when he rolled back into the ring, he gets hit with the knee to the face by Sheamus. Sheamus pins him, and Austin Theory barely kicking out at 2. But yeah, we get to the ending of this match where where Ridge Holland gets tagged in. So yeah, he's the legal man, and he's going against Kit Wilson. And he hits his finisher move, that power slam onto Kit Wilson. He pins him. 1, 2, Austin Theory breaks at the pin at the count of 2. Butch comes into the ring, but Austin Theory grabs him and hits A-Town down onto Butch, taking him out. Sheamus comes in there, clotheslining Austin Theory over the top rope. He gets out there to the ring. He grabs Austin Theory, but Austin Theory pushes him to the ring post, taking him out as well. And then we see, with the referee has back turned and everything, we see Elton Prince coming into the ring, dragging Kit Wilson out of the ring. He gets into the ring because they got the same ring attire and stuff, and he grabs the ring apron and pulls over his head, so Ridge Holland and the referee couldn't tell who it was. So Ridge Holland goes over there, he grabs him by the foot, and then we see Kit Wilson from behind him hitting a chop block to the leg onto Ridge Holland. Then they hit their tag team finish moves, spilt milk onto Ridge Holland, the spine buster and the neck breaker combination. And then Kit Wilson tags in Austin Theory, which Austin Theory just comes in, pinning Ridge Holland for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, Austin Theory and Pretty Deadly defeated the Brawling Brutes tonight in a 6-man tag team match. That's what happened. Pretty good 6-man tag team match. I'll give it 3.5 stars. That's why I'll give it. It was a pretty good 6-man tag. So yeah, that's why I'll give that match. But yeah, and then after that, we see Paul Heyman walking up to Roman Reigns' locker room because he will be on SmackDown tonight to celebrate 1,000 days. And we're going to see what he has to say about Jimmy Uso. Not only that, there's Money in the Bank qualifying matches. We got Lacey Evans versus Zelina Vega one-on-one in the women's Money in the Bank ladder match qualifying match later on tonight. And then we got LA Knight versus Montez Ford in a Money in the Bank qualifying match as well later on tonight. So yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on Friday Night SmackDown. I'll see you guys later. Until then. So the next thing that happened on Friday Night SmackDown, it was a tag team match. But before we talk about that tag team match, we gotta talk about a few segments that was happening backstage. So we see Paul Heyman, he's talking to Solo Sikoa backstage, and he's telling Solo that he wants tonight to be a special night for Roman Reigns and all that stuff. Definitely after what happened to him at Night of Champions and all that stuff. So yeah, that's what Paul Heyman was talking about. And he says that he's going to go talk to Adam Pearce to make sure that the Usos don't be coming into the building interrupting Roman Reigns' 1,000 days as champion celebration. So yeah, that's what Paul Heyman was saying. So that's what he's going to go do, is talk to Adam Pearce about that. And then after that, we see something that happened earlier today, where we see AJ Styles talking to Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson, Mia Yim backstage. And AJ Styles was talking about how, he did lost against Seth Rollins at Night of Champions and all that stuff. And he's going to have to look past that, and move on. But he says that tonight the OC would definitely beat Hit Row tonight, and they're going to take care of that business. So yeah, that's what AJ Styles said. And then we get to the tag team match. Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson with AJ Styles and Mia Yim at ringside. The OC versus Top Dollar and Ashante the Adonis with B-Fab at ringside, Hit Row in a tag team match. And this match, it was okay. Carl Anderson tags in Luke Gallows. Gallows comes in hitting a big boot onto Ashante, and then he hits a big boot onto Top Dollar, knocking him off the ring apron. So he was nowhere in the match after that. And then Gallows taking out Ashante Adonis, laying him out and everything. He tags in Carl Anderson. They come in there, hitting the tag team finish move, the Magic Killer, onto Ashante Adonis. Carl Anderson pins Ashante for the 3 count. So yeah, the OC defeated Hit Row tonight in a tag team match. And then after the tag team match ended, we see Top Dollar getting in the ring, hitting a big boot onto Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, laying them out. And then he turns around, he gets hit with a phenomenal forearm by AJ Styles, getting taken out. So yeah, that's what happened there for the match. For what happened during the match and after the match, I'll give all that stuff. I'll give it 1.5 stars. That's why I'll give it. It was okay, but yeah, that's why I'll give all that. But yeah, after that, we see Paul Heyman walking up to Adam Pearce's locker room and office, and he tells, and before Paul Heyman says anything, Adam Pearce was like, "I already know what you want. You don't want the Usos to be here. I already made sure that they ain't going to show up here, and not only that, I got double the security surrounding the building, so yeah, the Usos will not be able to make it in here." And Paul Heyman's smiling, and then he about to get on the phone with Roman Reigns and tell him. So yeah, that's what's happening there. But yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on Friday Night SmackDown, which it'll be up next. Grayson Waller hosting the Grayson Waller Effect up next with a special guest, the new Raw Women's Champion, Asuka. So yeah, that will be happening up next. So yeah, see you guys later until then. So the next thing that happened on Friday Night SmackDown, we see Grayson Waller. He comes out there and he's hosting the Grayson Waller Effect. And yeah, he starts talking about how he got the greatest talk show of all the time and all that stuff. He gets a great special guest for the Grayson Waller Effect, and that is the new WWE Raw Women's Champion, Asuka. Asuka comes out, Grayson Waller, meets her and all that stuff, and then she starts talking Japanese, and he was talking about how, she did great by defeating Bianca Belair, and winning the Raw Women's Championship, and then he shows the replay of what happened at Night of Champions with Asuka cheating, and then winning the match and all that stuff. And he says that was great stuff right there. Asuka's talking like, yeah, and then all of a sudden, she gets interrupted by Io Sky. Io Sky comes out, and man, I want to see a match between Asuka and Io Sky. That one will be a good one for sure. But yeah, Io Sky comes on. Both of them talking Japanese, so I don't know what they're saying. But obviously, Io Sky wants a piece of Asuka, and try to get that Raw Women's Championship. And then Bayley comes out, and she says she'll translate what Io said from Japanese to English. And that is that either her or Io will qualify into the Money in the Bank ladder match and then becoming Miss Money in the Bank. So yeah, that's what Bayley was talking about. But then Bayley gets interrupted by Shotzi. Shotzi comes out and she was talking about how she's going to be the one winning the Money in the Bank contract. And then Lacey Evans comes out and she says that she will win against Zelina Vega in the qualifying match and then become Miss Money in the Bank. Zelina Vega comes out and she says that everybody always underestimate her and all that stuff, just like Rhea Ripley. And she came so close by defeating Rhea Ripley, but she says that she wants everybody to keep on underestimating her because she's going to win against Lacey Evans tonight in the qualifying match and then become Miss Money in the Bank. So yeah, that's what Zelina Vega said. And then we see Asuka already up the ramp and stuff, laughing and all that stuff, but then all of a sudden she gets attacked from behind by the Raw Women's Champion, not the Raw Women's Champion, the former Raw Women's Champion, Bianca Belair. So yeah, Bianca Belair comes up, attacks Asuka from behind and everything. Both of them was brawling. And then we see a bunch of referees pulling them apart and stuff, and they kept on going at it. So yeah, that's what happened there. Pretty good stuff though. But yeah, I will see you guys later until the next thing that happens on Friday Night SmackDown. See you guys later. Until then. So the next thing that happened on Friday Night SmackDown, it was a one-on-one Money in the Bank qualifying match. But before we talk about that, we got to talk about a segment backstage where we see Cameron Grimes talking to Adam Pearce backstage, and he was talking about that even though Baron Corbin's in NXT right now, he knows that Carmelo Hayes will take care of Baron Corbin, but he says if he ever sees Baron Corbin again, he's going to make sure he gets them. So yeah, that's what Cameron Grimes said. But then we get to the match, Lacey Evans versus Zelina Vega in the Women's Money in the Bank qualifying match. And yeah, all of a sudden we see Zelina Vega, laying down at the corner and stuff, holding her jaw. We're like, okay, what the hell happened to her, But then they show the replay of what happened during the commercial break where everybody was taking out the set for Grayson Waller's show, and then while everybody was doing that, Lacey Evans comes up hitting the woman's right onto Zelina Vega. So yeah, Lacey Evans already had an advantage before this match starting. But yeah, we get to the match, and yeah, Lacey Evans is taking control of this match against Zelina Vega, and she was trying to lock on that chemical clutch onto Zelina Vega, and Zelina Vega starts fighting out of it. She goes to the corner, kicks off, rolling her Lacey Evans through with the arm drag pretty much, and then hits one of her finisher moves, the Code Red, onto Lacey Evans, pinning her for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, Zelina Vega defeated Lacey Evans tonight, and she qualifies in the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. That's what happened. It was an okay match. For that match, I'll give it 2 stars. That's what I'll give it. It was alright. But yeah, that's what happened there. But up next, we're going to be seeing LA Knight versus Montez Ford in a Money in the Bank qualifying match up next on SmackDown. And still to come later on tonight, we'll see Roman Reigns celebrating his 1,000 days as champion later on tonight as well. So yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on Friday Night SmackDown. See you guys later until then. So the next thing that happened on Friday Night SmackDown, it was a one-on-one match. But before we talk about the next Money in the Bank qualifying match, we got to talk about a segment backstage where we see Santos Escobar with Zelina Vega, Joaquin Wilde, and Cruz del Toro talking. And Santos Escobar was telling Zelina Vega that the LWO is, is happy that she won her qualifying match, and they know that she's going to go to Money in the Bank and win the Money in the Bank ladder match for the women's side. And then Santos Escobar was talking about how he got a Money in the Bank qualifying match next week, and he'll win that one and win Mr. Money in the Bank. And yeah, Rey Mysterio comes up and he goes we're going to have Mr. and Mrs. Money in the Bank right here. So yeah, in the LWO. But yep, that's what happened there. And then we get to the next match. It was Montez Ford versus LA Knight in a Money in the Bank qualifying match. Angelo Dawkins did come out, but he went backstage when Montez Ford was making his entrance and stuff. So yeah, it was just a one-on-one match between those two guys. In this match, it was a pretty good one. We see LA Knight try to hit moonsault off the top rope, but Montez Ford moves out the way, and LA Knight crashed and burned, and then Montez hits a Enziguri upside the head onto LA Knight, and then he hits a rock bottom onto him, pinning him, but LA Knight barely kicking out at 2, and then we see Montez Ford on the top turnbuckle. LA Knight climbs up there, but he gets knocked off the top turnbuckle. Montez Ford tries to hit the frog splash onto LA Knight, but LA Knight moves out the way before it lands on his feet. LA Knight kicks him in the stomach, trying to hit blunt force trauma onto him, but Montez Ford pushes him into the turnbuckles, and then he grabs LA Knight, rolls him up for a pin, but they're close by the ropes, and he only got a 2 count because LA Knight rolls back through, but he's grabbing the rope for leverage, getting the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, LA Knight defeated Montez Ford tonight, and he qualifies into the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. That's what happened there. Pretty good match and stuff, and what happened. So yeah, and then after the match, into LA Knight grabs a ladder and sets up in the middle of the ring, and he climbs up the ladder, grabbing the briefcase. So yeah, that's what happened there for that match. And for that match and all that stuff, I'll give it 2.5 stars as well. It was a pretty good match and stuff like that. But yeah. Up next, we're going to be seeing Roman Reigns 1,000 Days as champion. But yeah, up next, Triple H is coming out there. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Until then. So the next thing that happened on Friday Night SmackDown, it was the last segment of the night. We see Triple H, he makes his way out there on SmackDown, and there is a new championship inside the ring, but it's covered up and everything. And Triple H was talking about how Roman Reigns has passed over 1,000 days as champion and all that stuff. That's what Triple H was saying, and he says that he wants to introduce the undisputed WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns, and he comes out with Solo Sikoa and Paul Heyman, the Bloodline. So yeah, Roman Reigns gets into the ring, and they both shake hands and all that stuff. And Triple H was telling him that Roman Reigns has been champion for so long and stuff, and he wants to give him a new championship. And he reveals it and say WWE Championship that's all golden. So yeah, it was really cool. That's a new championship. So yeah, that's what Triple H gives Roman Reigns, and he walks out the ring. And yeah, Roman Reigns was talking about how he's the greatest of all time and all that stuff. And he's passed over 1,000 days, and he's just going to keep on reigning as champion and all that stuff. But then he gets interrupted by Jimmy and Jay, the Usos. So yeah, the Usos comes out. They interrupt them, and yeah, Jimmy Uso was talking some crap to Roman Reigns and stuff, talking about why he did that at Night of Champions and all that stuff. And he said he's tired of Roman Reigns getting up in his face and all that stuff. And then Roman starts stepping up to Jimmy and stuff, talking a lot of crap to him. And then Jimmy just pie faces Roman, and then they both get face to face again. And then Jay Uso gets in between them, and he's trying to separate them and all that stuff, talking about we're family and all that. And everything like that. And then Roman Reigns is like, even your brother acknowledges me. And then he passed the mic over to Solo, and Solo was telling Roman that he acknowledged his tribal chief, but he says that he's with his brothers as well, because those are his brothers. And he gets side by side with Jimmy and Jay and stuff. So yeah, it looks like the Bloodline was definitely about to break up right then and there. And then the whole situation with Roman and Jimmy started happening with the pie face and all that stuff. And then Jay gets in between them, tries to separate them, and says, hey, we're family and all that stuff, we should not be doing this, I need you and I need you. So yeah, that's what Jay was saying to them. And then Roman starts getting upset, and then all of a sudden he goes over there and hugs Jimmy. And it looked like we're about to be fine, because Jimmy was like, why can't we just be the Bloodline and just dominate the whole company without you trying to bully us and all that stuff. So yeah, that's what Jimmy was trying to get across. And Roman was like, yeah, you know what, you're right, let's get a hug. And then Jimmy was like, do you forgive me? And Roman said no, and then he steps away from Jimmy. And then all of a sudden we see Solo Sikoa hitting a Samoan spike onto Jimmy Uso, laying him out. And then Roman and Solo walks up the ramp, and Jay's still in the ring checking on Jimmy and everything. And then Paul Heyman asks Roman, what about Jay? And Roman looks back at Jay and Jimmy. So yeah, that's what happened there. Pretty good segment though. Really liked it. That was segment of the night. For match of the night, I gotta say, it was that 6-man tag team match. And yeah, some pretty good stuff for tonight's SmackDown. But yeah, that has been my WWE Friday Night SmackDown reviews. Like, subscribe to Team W Wrestling on YouTube, subscribe to my other channel, World of Chris, and subscribe to this channel, Chris Videos, and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and both of my TikToks. So I'll be down there in the description box, and I'll see you guys later for this Monday's Monday Night Raw reviews. See you guys later. Until then.